All right. So today, what I want to chat with you again, how to be self-aware in a relationship. But today I want to talk about you. I want to talk about the different seasons of high and lows in your life and how to deal with it. So if I had to name this little training, it would be how to deal with the cycle of low energy in your life. What does it mean? Number one, we tend to resist low energy. There are seasons of low energy that we don't feel it. You just feel down. And there's season where we feel amazing. We feel like, yeah, that we're top of the world. And as you know, nowadays, there's 2020, the whole season was a season of low energy. There's a lot going on in our world right now. There's a time for everything under the sun, right? There's a time to grieve. There's a time to be happy. But resisting low energy happens with our tendency to connect high energy with our self-worth, meaning our success with our self-worth. When we're doing well with our self-worth, like meaning that if I'm always up, that means I'm happy, that means I'm successful. If that's your definition of success, it's going to be completely based on your emotions, which is not. But the more you resist that low energy at times where you feel the low energy, there's a reason I'm going to go into why we feel the low energy. There's a lesson with that low energy, okay? But one of the things when we start to resist this low energy that we may feel is we tend to create sickness. See, sickness happens like in your life when we're resisting to resisting this low energy. We want to keep on moving forward. We want to keep busy. The second thing is that happens in this season of low energy is conflicting voices. What does it mean, a conflicting voice? Is when you tell yourself you're not good enough, you're not this. Weren't you not like those people out there? Weren't you already married? Weren't you this? It's not good for you to be single, or it's not good for you to be married. You name it. Whatever is going around you, inside of you, that's affecting everything that's going around you. But what's happening is there's a conflict that's going on between you and you. And that conflict create friction. And the conflict is just a voice of something inside of you needing and longing to be healed. So, a lot of conflict that we have with ourselves, or if we don't feel good enough, we don't feel like we should be in a better place, or things should change, or people should change. It's just a conflict within you. There is a healing that needs to take place. It's a longing of your heart calling out, hey, we need to deal with this. And nothing grows forever. That's why there is a season of high energy and there's a season of low energy. When you're ready to be healed, it will surface. And I want you to understand this. When your heart is ready, and you will have conflict, it will tell you, it will bring, like, chaos is going to be more happening in your life than success. When you're successful, when things are high, you don't look at, oh man, I really need to work on myself. I really need to get some coaching on my heart. It's only when you have a season of low energy when that happens. So the season of low energy is for you to listen to the inner voice, learn from the season, and then understand that maybe it's time for you to walk in the healing process. Maybe it's time for you to open that door. Maybe it is. So here's the 3 things you want to do. Number 1, be present with what's happening and accept it. You say, maybe what's happening? There's so much happening. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly. Be present with it. Acknowledge. It might be an invitation for you to grieve. It's just an invitation for you to feel. The tendency is not to feel. The tendency is to keep busy and not feel. Maybe this low season is an invitation. So what I ask you to do is be present and be with what's happening around you. Number 2, listen to the inner voice. Don't shut the inner voice. The inner voice is trying to figure out who you are. The inner voice is stop figuring out what everybody says about you or what your parents have said about you. So maybe the inner voice that's causing you to want to get healed is the voice of your authentic self, the voice of your inner child that wants to get the healing that he or she deserves. So maybe you want to listen to it. For once, listen. Do not be the critical parent that shuts it down. Do not be that voice that doesn't listen, like you were maybe not listened to as a child. Listen to that voice. And then it requires you support and surrender. It requires you to let go of what's known or the control of everything in your life. It It requires you to go with the flow of life. It requires you to let go in order to make something new. And you've heard me say this, you can't hold on to the old way of being, to the old pain, to the old way of controlling and expect something new. You eventually gotta let go of the old way of thinking, the old way of being, the old way of the way things should be in order for you to accept something new to come up. So I was talking to somebody, I'm gonna wrap it up with this. They were so codependent with some of their family members, helping some family members so much so, and they felt justified to help them. I'm not saying not to help, but they were wondering why they were still single. And I told them, you are married to the people that you're taking care of. You have no room for anyone else to come in because you're so invested in those people. And I told them that if you justify, rationalize, and defend, your identity is into helping these people. Your identity is not in you. So we got to work on your identity. And when you work on your identity, then you'll understand the season of high, the season of low, and you'll understand those seasons, and you'll be able to be present with those seasons. You'll understand that those low seasons caused you to want to get the healing that you need. And how long have you not listened? How long have you been resisting those seasons? The more you resist, the more it persists. And the more you resist, the more sickness happens physically, emotionally, spiritually, in relationships. When is that time for you to stop? If you're ready to rock and roll and start working on this, go ahead and comment, first of all, with what you learned from this. And two, if you're ready, just put on ready. Then I'll reach out to you and then I'll connect with you on starting to walk that. Some of you have taken that path. I know some of you have taken that path because I know I'm coaching you right now. And I know how great it is. Don't you like that to see, okay, wow, don't you wish you've taken that path a long time ago? So I'm talking to those of you guys that haven't taken that path and are going through some low seasons. This might be a message to your heart from you. It might be an invitation of healing. All right. Thank you for watching this. Appreciate you being there. Comment whatever you got out of this. I know it's helping other people that are watching and reading this. Thank you.